So once again, good morning to all. So in this session, we are going to learn what is the accounting method in admission of a partner. So what are the major adjustments we have to do at the time of admission of a partner? Yes, can anyone reply? What are the major adjustments we do at the time of admission of a partner? Give me the answer. One is calculation of new profit sharing ratio. And what are the other adjustments? Yes, students, can you hear me?
Sharing the assets, sir.
Revaluation of assets and liabilities. Okay. Next. What is the next one?
Treatment
Treatment
of
of.
goodwill.
Very good. Next. Yes. Anyone can reply. Adjustment of undistributed profits and losses, right? And what is the last one? Adjustment of capitals.
Capitals.
Yes. These topics I'm going to explain now, one by one. Calculation of new profit sharing ratio in three methods already we completed yesterday, right? Next one, revaluation of assets and liabilities. Just note down. Number three, treatment of goodwill. In all the cases, the very important adjustment is treatment of goodwill. Maybe admission or retirement or death of a partner. In all the cases, the major adjustment is treatment of goodwill. The fourth one, adjustment of undistributed. Here, undistributed profits and losses is also called accumulated profits and losses. Accumulated profits and losses or adjustment of undistributed profits and losses. The last one, adjustments of capital. These are the major adjustments we make at the time of admission of a partner. Let us start. Revaluation of assets and liabilities. So what is revaluation of assets and liabilities? Revalue. Revalue means recalculate. So in the interest of all the partners at the time of admission of a new partner, in the interest of all the partners, the revaluation of assets and liabilities is done. Okay, so that is called revaluation of assets and liabilities. When we do revaluation of assets and liabilities means mainly at the time of admission of a partner. So when a new partner join into the business, it is natural that he should not be benefit from any appreciation in the value of assets which has taken place, nor he should suffer because of any depreciation in the value of assets. Same in the case of liabilities also. So therefore, assets and liabilities are revalued at the time of admission of a new partner. So the changes in the value of assets and liabilities are recorded in revaluation accounts. So here revaluation account is also called as profit and loss adjustment account. A revaluation account, the nature is nominal account. So expenses, when losses are to be debited, incomes and gains are to be credited. So in revaluation accounts, when we prepare means at the time of admission of a partner, and what we record means expenses, losses we debit, and incomes and gains we credit. So revaluation accounts difference, I mean profit or loss, that belongs to old partners only. There is no share of profit or loss to new partner, because now only new partner is joined. So till the date, if any increase or decrease in revaluation of assets and liabilities, that belongs to old partners only. So for that, what are the adjustment entries? What are the journal entries we need to write? So these are the very important journal entries at the time of revaluation of assets and liabilities. So all of you note down these entries. So these following journal entries will be paused in the books of the firm when values are to be altered in the books. Yes, all of you write down these entries. Make it post.
Sir, we have done with the screenshot. You can carry on.
Okay. All right. See the first entry. The first entry for any increase in the value of an asset and also for decrease in the value of liabilities. So dear students, remember, okay, so to understand easily, I prepared this. Okay, actually there are 5 to 6 entries are there, but adjusted to 4 entries only to understand easily, not to confuse. So first entry for what? First entry for any increase in the value of an asset. If the asset value is increased, or decrease in the value of liabilities. If the value of liabilities decreased, then what entry will come? What is the entry means? Asset account or liability account data to revaluation account. Why revaluation account is credited means, see, when the asset value is increased, is it benefit or loss? Yes, reply anyone. Asset value is increased by revaluing the asset.
Benefit, sir.
Yes, that is benefit only now. So benefit means in revaluation account, which side we record, debit or credit side? As we are following nominal account, it comes in revaluation account, credit side. So that's why revaluation account is created in the first entry. Okay, when we get benefit means if any asset value is increased, and also if any liability value is decreased, that is also benefit to the business now. Asset value increased also benefit, and liability value decreased also becomes benefit to the business. So in this case, we credit revaluation account. And what we debit means, if asset value increased means asset account is to be debited. If liability value decreased means liability account is to be debited. Okay. So first entry, asset account data to revaluation account, or liability account data to revaluation account. And coming to the second entry. So when we write the second entry, when we debit revaluation account means, if any asset, is decreased, or if any liability is increased. In revaluation, the value of an asset is decreased, or if the value of a liability is increased, that becomes loss to the business. So that's why in this case we debit revaluation account. And what we credit, which asset is decreased, that asset account is to be credited, and which liability is increased, that liability account is to be credited. So what is a journal entry for second case? That means decrease in the value of an asset or increase in the value of liability means revaluation account debtor. Just simply remember, revaluation account is to be debited the time of loss. So revaluation account debtor to asset account or liabilities account. Understood all of you? First two entries. Anyone having any doubt
Yes,
in
sir,
first two
understood.
entries?
No.
Good. Coming to the third entry for profit on revaluation accounts. So generally when we get profit, income is more. If income is more, we get profit now. So which side we record in revaluation account? Income, credit side only now. Suppose credit side is more. Credit side is more means which side we get the balance? The profit which side we get? Debit side. So revaluation account is to be debited in the case of profit on revaluation. So what is the entry for profit on revaluation means revaluation account debtor to old partners capital account. So dear students, remember this profit on revaluation belongs to old partners only. There is no share to new partner. So that's why only we credit old partners capital account. Okay. So the entry is revaluation account debtor to old partners capital account. And one important point, in which ratio we have to distribute this profit. That is important. So in which ratio we distribute means in old ratio. Generally, they give old ratio in the problem. So in given ratio, we distribute this profit on revaluation. Suppose revaluation account is showed debit balance. Debit balance means if expense or loss is more, then which side we get the balance? Obviously, credit side. So that credit side balance is loss. So revaluation account is to be credited at the time of loss on revaluation. So revaluation account credit and what account debit? That loss also belongs to old partners only. Okay, revaluation profit or loss belongs to old partners only. So for loss on revaluation, the entry is old partners capital account debtor to revaluation account. In old ratio only, we distribute that amount. So this is about revaluation accounts. So if all the partners want to revalue the assets and liabilities, including new partner, at the time of admission of a partner, they may revalue the assets and liabilities. In that situation, what entries will come means 4 entries will come. What is the first entry? Listen once again. First entry for increase in the value of an asset. Asset value increase, benefit. So entry asset account debtor to revaluation account. If any liabilities decrease, that is also becomes benefit to the business. So the entry liability account debtor to revaluation account. Second entry, if any asset is decreased, that is loss to the business. So in that case, what entry will come? Revaluation account debtor to asset account. If any liability is increased, liability value increase means that is not benefit, that is also loss to the business. So that's why again revaluation account is to be debited and that liability is to be credited. So these are about the first two entries. And coming to the profit or loss on revaluation, if we get profit on revaluation, then revaluation account debtor to old partners capital accounts in old ratio. And for loss on revaluation accounts, the entry is old partners capital account debtor to revaluation accounts in old ratio. We distribute that amount. Yes, all of you clear?
Sir, I didn't understood profit on revaluation account.
Yes. For profit on revaluation account, when we get profit means if revaluation account shows credit balance means credit balance nothing but credit side is more than debit side, right? So credit side more means the same balance we take debit side and we deduct debit side amounts. Then which side we get the balance? Debit side only, no? So the debit side balance is called profit. So the profit balance we are getting revaluation account debit side. That's why in entry we debited revaluation accounts. Revaluation account debtor. And to whom we distribute that amount? We distribute to old partners in old ratio. So we credit old partners capital account. And for loss on revaluation account, the entry will be reversed because the balance we get credit side. In revaluation account, credit side we get the balance. So that's why revaluation account is to be credited and the same balance we distribute to old partners. So we debit old partners capital accounts in old ratio. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Second adjustment, the major adjustment. Treatment of goodwill in the various methods. Then admission of a partner, the very important and the major adjustment is for treatment of goodwill. So I hope all of you know what is goodwill. Yes, can anyone tell me the meaning of goodwill? As you are in second year, I think you know the meaning of goodwill. Yes, students,
So reputation,
good. In one word, what we can say? Goodwill is the reputation of the firm. So goodwill is the value of reputation of a firm in respect of profits expected in future over and above the normal rate of profit. Okay, so valuation of goodwill, a separate chapter we are having. So now I am not explaining the valuation of goodwill. Directly I am going to the treatment of goodwill. So here for treatment of goodwill, before going to give the treatment for goodwill, first we need to observe in which method that adjustment is given. That is very, very important. Listen once again. Before going to the treatment of goodwill, we need to observe in the question what method, in what method the adjustment is given. Because the treatment of goodwill, they may give in various methods. Mainly in admission of a partner. In admission of a partner, we are having many methods. In many methods, they may give goodwill adjustment. So, what are the major methods? You can see here. Premium method. The second one, revaluation method. And the third one, memorandum revaluation method. What are the major methods for adjustment of goodwill? Premium method, revaluation method, and memorandum revaluation method. Okay. Again, in premium method, we are having three more methods. In premium method, again subdivided. Okay. Subtypes are three. What are that? Number one, when the amount of goodwill is paid privately. If the amount of goodwill is paid privately. And the second one, when the goodwill is received in cash and retained in the business, not withdrawn by the old partners. Okay, when the goodwill amount is received in cash from the new partner and the same amount retained in the business, they kept in the business only. Okay, so who will bring the goodwill amount? New partner only, no? Okay, introduction I explained. Who will bring the goodwill amount? Along with capital, the new partner will bring goodwill amount. So here goodwill is also called premium. So that's why we are calling premium method. So remember students, Here goodwill is also called premium. Premium or goodwill, same only. So when the goodwill or when the premium is received in cash and retained in the business, we have separate treatment. That is second method. And coming to the third method, when the amount of goodwill is received in cash and withdrawn by the old partners. It is extension to the second method. Okay, continuation to the second method. In second method, the goodwill is received, but only retained in the business. But in third method, what we are doing? The same amount we are withdrawing from the business. So that is called third method. So these are the three important methods in premium method. So in detail, one by one, I'm going to explain. First, we see the premium methods. So, how many types of premium methods are there? Yes. Total how many methods? In premium method, we are having
3, sir.
3 methods. See, the first method, actually it is not a method. Because, see, what is the first method here? When the amount of goodwill is paid privately, not officially. Okay, when the amount of goodwill is paid privately by the new partner to the old partners, in that case, nothing we do in accounting books, nothing we record in accounting books. So further, there is no journal entry is required. In the first case of premium method, that is when the amount of goodwill is paid privately by a new partner to the old partners, there is no journal entry in the accounting books. Okay, simply what we do means we ignore. So in the question, if they mention like this, goodwill is paid privately means the transaction simply we ignore. Just leave that transaction. Nothing we post in the accounts. Okay, so no journal entry is required for first case. So 99% in exam, they will not give this type of method. They give second or third method only in premium methods. So first method, just we need to ignore. That's it. Because privately is paying. So that is out of business transaction. Next, coming to the second method, when the goodwill is received in cash and retained in the business. The goodwill is brought by the new partner and the amount is kept in the business only, retained in the business only. So in that case, what entry we post? So what is the general entry? Cash account debtor to old partners capital accounts. When the goodwill is received in cash and retained in the business, what entry we type? Cash account debtor to old partners capital account. So in bracket clearly I mentioned in the sacrificing ratio. So we know old ratio and we know new ratio. But here in bracket what ratio is mentioned? Sacrificing ratio. This is a new ratio. So dear students, remember sacrificing ratio means at the bottom of the screen slide, I gave the principle for calculation of sacrificing ratio. It's very simple. Old ratio minus new ratio. By using this principle, we can calculate sacrificing ratio and we distribute the goodwill amount to whom? Only to the old partners. All of you got it? Any question? When the goodwill is received in cash and retained in the business, what entry we write? Cash account debtor to old partners capital account. Cash account debtor means goodwill amounts. Cash account debited with goodwill amount, and to old partners capital account means to old partners only we distribute, not new partners. Because new partner only paying the goodwill amount. The amount we distribute to old partners. For the distribution, what ratio we use means sacrificing ratio. If in the question sacrificing ratio is not given, then what we have to do? We need to calculate sacrificing ratio. How to calculate sacrificing ratio? Principle is there now. Old ratio minus new ratio. They give old ratio in the question and also they give new ratio in the question. By the help of old ratio and new ratio, we calculate sacrificing ratio. It's very simple. And coming to the third method, what is the third method? When the goodwill amount is received in cash form and withdrawn by the old partners. The amount is brought by the new partner and withdrawn by the old partners. They are not retaining in the business. They are not keeping in the business. Immediately, they are withdrawing from the business. So in this case, additionally, one more entry we have to write. First we write this entry, the second method entry, because he brought in the form of cash now. Then the withdraw means additionally we write one more entry. What is the additional entry? See, the third method entry. Old partners capital account debtor to cash account. The entry will be reversed. When we distribute, what entry we wrote? Cash account debtor to old partners capital account. And when we withdraw the same amount, in same ratio, with same amount, we reverse the entry. Reverse entry means old partners capital account debtor to cash account. In same ratio. In what ratio we distributed? In that ratio only we cancel the amounts. That means in sacrificing ratio. Yes, all of you understood the premium methods. In premium methods, anyone having any doubt? Yes, first. Sacrificing ratio in the problem, we will explain how to calculate. But now, just remember the principle. Principle for sacrificing ratio is old ratio minus new ratio. No doubts here? Good. Let's go to the next adjustment. Next method. In treatment of goodwill, the next method is revaluation method, right? So in revaluation method, how to identify is it revaluation or method or not? Okay. Simply remember, if the goodwill amount is paid in the form of cash, then it is called premium method, right? If that is not mentioned in the question, obviously that is called revaluation method only. That means if the goodwill amount is raised, how they give means if the goodwill amount is raised or created or value. How to identify revaluation method means if the amount is not brought by new partner in the form of cash, that is called revaluation method. In the form of cash paid means that is premium method. If the goodwill amount is created, they only created or valued, revalued, evaluated in this type given means that is called revaluation method. In such a case, what entry we write? What is the journal entry for revaluation method means? Put it down. Goodwill account debtor to old partners capital accounts. The entry is goodwill account debtor to old partners capital accounts. And remember, this is very important. This goodwill amount, this created goodwill or valued goodwill, in what ratio we distribute means in the old ratio. There is no need of new ratio, sacrificing ratio, nothing. Just to be distributed old ratio. Even though in the question new ratio is given, we not require new ratio. We want only old ratio for revaluation method. This is very, very important. Don't get confused. Sacrificing ratio we use only in premium method, but in revaluation method we use old ratio. But here what is a common thing means in premium method or revaluation method, the goodwill amount we are distributing to only old partners. There is no share of goodwill to new partner. Okay, so created goodwill we distribute to old partners in old ratio. For that, the entry will come goodwill account debtor to old partners capital account. Is it clear? Yes. Is it clear? Yes, now the voice is clear. Voice is clear. Now, okay. So listen once again. In revaluation method, how to identify revaluation method means if the goodwill amount is not brought by the new partner in the form of cash, there is nothing but revaluation method. Sometimes they give directly like this. Goodwill amount is created. Goodwill amount is valued. Goodwill amount is evaluated. Goodwill amount is raised. So like this mention means that is revaluation method. So revaluation method, what ratio we use means only old ratio. Even though new ratio is given, we use old ratio only. But what is the common thing for first and second method means? In first and second method, we are distributing the goodwill amount to old partners only. In revaluation accounts, for distribution of goodwill in the old ratio, what entry we write? Goodwill account equal to old partners capital account. And coming to the third method, that is memorandum revaluation method. It's an extension to revaluation method. Okay, so in memorandum revaluation method, what we do means one additional entry we write. After writing this goodwill account debtor to old partners capital account entry, if memorandum revaluation method is given in the problem, how to identify memorandum revaluation method is given in the problem means simply remember if the created goodwill is written off in the question, written off mention, created goodwill is written off. Written off mention means that is memorandum revaluation method. Written off nothing but withdraw. Created goodwill is withdrawn. Created goodwill withdraw means that is memorandum revaluation method. But in this case, remember in memorandum revaluation method, the entry is all partners capital account debtor to goodwill account. All partners, yes, who is there? Please mute yourself. Okay. So in memorandum revaluation method, the entry comes all partners capital accounts. Here all partners means including a new partner. All partners means including a new partner. So the entry is all partners capital account debtor to goodwill account. What amount we valued or raised, created, the same amount in memorandum revaluation method we distribute to all the partners. Only valued means only old partners in old ratio. But valued goodwill written off means we distribute to all the partners, including a new partner in the new ratio. Suppose in the problem new ratio is not given. New ratio not given means we need to calculate. Already explained in the last session how to calculate new ratio. So after calculating the new ratio only, we distribute the goodwill amounts in memorandum revaluation method. So all of you note it down. For memorandum revaluation method, entries all partners capital account debtor to goodwill account in bracket clearly mentioned, including a new partner in the new ratio. So this is about treatment of goodwill in various methods at the time of admission of a partner. Yes, anyone having any doubts in treatment of goodwill? the major adjustment. Any question? No questions means we'll go to the next adjustment. In revaluation method, how to identify if the goodwill is created, like this given in the question. Goodwill is created, raised, or valued, evaluated, like that mentioned means that is revaluation method. So in that case, we write goodwill account return to old partners capital account. That means the amount will come goodwill account debit side, old partners capital account credit side. In what ratio we distribute? Old ratio, even ratio. Okay. And coming to the memorandum revaluation method, additional entry. So when the raised goodwill is written off mentioned in the problem means we write the additional entry. The entry is all partners capital account return to goodwill account. Here all partners means remember including a new partner. And in which ratio we cancel the amount means in new ratio. Okay. Clear? Let us go to the next adjustment. The last two adjustments. One is adjustment of undistributed or accumulated profits and losses. Adjustment of undistributed or accumulated profits and losses. So dear students, remember here undistributed or accumulated profits and losses nothing but the profits and losses before the admission of a partner, before the admission of a new partner, what profits and losses reserves we have that belongs to whom? Old partners only now. Now only new partner is joined. Okay, so up to the admission of a partner, what profit is there? What profit is undistributed? That means not distributed to old partners. Immediately we have to distribute the amount. Okay, so for that, what entries will come? So generally the question, undistributed profits, how they give means like this. They mention the balance sheet liability side like this. General reserve. General reserve nothing but undistributed profit and loss only. Profit and loss upon balance. Which balance? Credit balance. Okay, not debit balance. Just a second. By mistake, I gave debit balance. That is not debit balance, credit balance. Here. Here, profit and loss accounts. Credit balance means will be debited, and debit balance means will be credited. See once again, for adjustment of undistributed or accumulated profits and losses, how to identify means they give like this: general reserve or profit and loss accounts balance. Which balance? Credit balance, which they give in balance sheet liability side. Credit balance nothing but the amount which is given balance sheet liability side. So generally general reserve which side it appears in balance sheet liability side only now. So profit and loss account liability side appears means that is also credit balance, and any other accumulated reserve is given. Okay. For that the entry is general reserve account data, profit and loss account data, any other accumulated reserve account data to old partners capital accounts, because we distribute to old partners only. So that's why what account we credit? Only old partners capital account. There is no share in this to the new partner. Total we distribute to old partners only. And remember, in what ratio we distribute? In old ratio. In what ratio we distribute? Old ratio. Sometimes the profit and loss account balance may also appear in balance sheet asset side. So generally it appears liability side, but sometimes it may appear asset side also. So asset side balance means that is debit balance. Profit and loss account debit balance will appear balance sheet asset side. If debit side appear means that is loss. So that loss amount also we need to distribute. But further, the entry will be reversed. So what entry will come? Old partners capital account return to profit and loss account. Old partners capital account return to profit and loss account. But 90% profit and loss account balance also they give liability side only. That means credit balance. So we write the first entry. But in rare cases, the profit and loss account they may give asset side. If they give asset side, further distribution, we write this entry. The second entry will come. Old partners capital account return to profit and loss account. But this balance also we distribute to only old partners in old ratio. So dear students, remember for adjustment of undistributed or accumulated profits and losses, we are using only old ratio and we are distributing to only old partners. Okay? Yes. Clear everyone? Good. Next. The last adjustment. Today's session, the last topic in admission of a partner, the last adjustment of capital. Adjustment of capital to be proportionate to profit sharing ratio. Okay, so adjustment of capital is also one of the major adjustment in admission of a partner. So in how many ways we have to adjust the capital? So briefly here I am explaining because we are having a 10 minutes time. So later in the problems I will explain clearly. Just remember adjustment of capital they may give in two ways. What is the first one means? See the first one, when the capitals are to be adjusted on the basis of new partner, they may adjust the capital on the basis of new partner share. And the second one, when the new partner is required to bring the amount of capital in proportionate to the share in the form. So these are the two different methods for adjustment of capital. Simply remember the first method, when the new partner on the basis of new partner share we adjust capital means that is first method. How to adjust in problems direct I will show. And when the new partner, second method, when the new partner is required to bring in the amount of capital in proportion to share in the form. Based on old partner's share, if the new partner share is adjusted, the new partner capital is adjusted, that is second method. Or simply you can remember on the basis of new partner capital, if the all partners capitals are adjusted, that is first method. On the basis of old partners capital, if the new partner capital is adjusted, means that is second method. How it is, I will explain in the problem directly later. Yes. Any question?
Sir, can you explain the first entry again, please?
First entry for what now? Can you repeat?
So that
Did
first
not
entry,
understand.
number 1, general waivers account. This I didn't get, sir. This is for
That is
what, sir?
easy. Adjustment of undistributed or accumulated profits and losses. If any undistributed profits or losses given in the problem, balance sheet liability side. 90% they give balance sheet liability side only. So what are that profits and losses or reserves name means, they may give like this: general reserve, profit and loss account, or any other accumulated reserve. So that reserve given means for that what's entry? general reserve account debtor, profit and loss account debtor, or any other accumulated reserve account debtor to old partners capital account. That means in treatment, what we are doing, we are distributing to old partners. That's why in old partners capital account we credit. Old partners capital accounts we credit. Okay. And in what ratio we distribute means old ratio. In old ratio we distribute that amount. Suppose if any profit and loss account balance is mentioned in the balance sheet asset side, that means debit balance. So the debit balance also we distribute to old partners only. Okay, but which side we write? In debit side, not credit side. Liability side balance we write capital account credit side. Asset side balance we write capital account debit side. Quite opposite. Asset side given means, remember, it comes capital account debit side. Liability side given means, remember, it comes partners capital account debit side. And to whom we distribute? Only to the old partners. And in which ratio we distribute? Old ratio. Here you can mention the old ratio. Yes. Any more questions? Questions, please. Now, okay, old ratio. The adjustment of capital, briefly I explain. Later I will explain clearly, very clearly in the problem. We are having 5 more minutes time. Please don't waste the time. Ask the questions. Do
Sir,
not
once
ask the
repeat.
questions. I will only ask the questions. Can I ask the questions? Yes, students.
Sir, once repeat yesterday
Can I ask the
second.
questions? Yes. Yeah, tell me now. Loudly. Speak loudly. Somebody asked the question. But I didn't hear. Can you ask again?
Sir, once repeat yesterday second method.
Second method. In what?
Hmm.
In what, Nana? Second method. In what adjustment?
Okay, sir, wait. In calculation of new profit sharing ratio, second method, sir.
That is yesterday class, no? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In today's session, no doubt. Today's session, no doubt means we close this. We'll close this PPT. So now only I will send the PPT. All of you go through it in Google Classroom. And to get it, please use your college mail ID only. With personal mail ID, it will not come. Just a minute. I'm sharing yesterday's problem. Calculation of new ratio in second method. Is it visible now? Yes. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me what is your doubt? In that, what is your doubt? Whole problem is doubt or any particular step? Reply first. Okay. See the total question. The new partner. So how to identify the second method means if the new partner, in some cases, purchase his share of profit from the old partners in a particular ratio. Okay. That means if the old partners are sacrificed from their old share, then that is called second method only. Second method of calculation of new ratio. For example, here take X and Y are partners sharing profits and losses in the proportion of 7:5. Here 7:5 means whole ratio 7/12 and 5/12, and they agreed to admit Z into partnership, who is to get 1/6 share in the profit. It is new partner's share, and he acquires this 1/6 share. How he got means he acquires this share as 1/24 from X. From X old share, he gets 1/24, and from Y old share, he gets 1/8. Then, what is the new profit sharing ratio? It's simple. See the first step. The new partner Z acquires 1/6 share in the profits, which he takes from clearly given, which he takes from 1/24 from X and 1/8 from Y. Right? So 1/24 is sacrificed by X, 1/8 is sacrificed by Y. The remaining only their new ratio. So therefore, what is the X new ratio? Old ratio minus sacrificed ratio. What is the X old ratio? 7/12, which is given in the problem. Right? 7/12 minus his sacrifice ratio. To Z he sacrificed now. From his share only sacrificed. So from his total share, that means 7/12, he sacrificed how much? 1/24. So 7/12 minus 1/24. What is the balance? 13/24. That is X new share. Whole share minus sacrifice share. Then we get new share. Like that, Y also. What is the Y whole share? 5/12. And how much he sacrificed to Z? 1/8 he sacrificed. From his share only. From his 5/12 share only, he sacrificed 1/8 share. So to get new share, obviously, we deduct that sacrificed share. So 5/12 minus 1/8, how much we got? 7/24. So then, what is the new ratio of all the partners? 13:7:4. Clear, Nano?
Okay, sir.
Let's continue the class tomorrow, the same time. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.